Yeah, we're always late.
Oh, we're live. I didn't. We worked it out. Welcome to the Warzone Sports Network. This is your Sunday morning fantasy football wake up call here on the Warzone Sports Network. We're going over so many things in the fantasy football world today. I will talk about all the people that I am joined with in just a second. And got a good story about an altercation I had with a Cowboys fan at the grocery store right after this.
Good morning.
Sunday morning here. That is fantasy football wish list on Instagram, TikTok. Please go over there and follow him. In the top right, you have Michael on the microphone, better known as Mike. On all social
Tony, you need to fix your mic thing.
I'll make a compilation of every time this happened to him. To open a show too. It's
so
always
here's the drop.
Now you're
better.
Yeah.
What happens is my mic clips because the bass and the music is so loud. So I have to try and time the jump in on when I get back in. Nobody cares on my technical difficulties. Let me start.
I thought it was just my brain glitching.
It probably, well, no, it didn't. Scotty, fantasy football wish list below us. Instagram, TikTok, follow him there. Michael on the microphone, better known as Mike on the mic, just surpassed thousands and thousands of fans and followers on TikTok. Took his victory lap over there. Joe Morley down there, the #1 Cowboys hater. And today he's on our team, kind of. He is still wearing a Raiders shirt, and I hope that they get smacked by the Steelers this morning in the 10 a.m. hour. We're going over all these things. All of it cannot be stopped. Good morning, Jennifer, the better half. The wish that came true for Scotty right there. Jennifer in the chat. We appreciate that.
Go Bill.
See, what did somebody say? Go Bills?
Well, I'm live on Instagram too, so I'm trying to read both of them. And some people are asking about they're saying go Bills, they're saying bang bang Niner game. So everybody's excited for football this morning. I'm excited.
I love it.
Joey's
I'm not excited.
his head and rubbing his belly at the same time right now.
Scotty's lucky. His week's over. Scotty doesn't have nothing to worry about today. His team played on Thursday. He's ready to go.
We lucked out.
There was a great meme that Heineke threw that interception on purpose just so he could grow his legend. I don't exactly know how it was worded, but I really like that theory.
I don't like that I threw it on that down, but whatever.
I was talking all that smack to Nick Mac. I don't know if you guys saw it in the group chat about how great I am at prize picks, and that Heineke interception landed it for me. Without him doing that, I was going to lose right after talking all that smack. So, woo!
You were right here along with me, Mike. I
also want to congratulate Mike. He got sorry, my fingers are all backwards. Mikey with 50,000 followers on TikTok and 5,000 on Instagram. He's ripping it up, man. Give a little.
And the Chargers beat Washington. You can congratulate me for that too.
I gotta go.
That was a little easier than the 50,000 followers.
Son of a bitch.
Let's get into this. Sunday morning. What we got, Tony?
We're going to start with prize picks. If you're unfamiliar with prize picks, it's an easy over-under fantasy football game. All you got to do is download the app, use the promo code Warzone, and they will match 100% of your first deposit on a $100 deposit. I always screw up the wording of that. I should write it down and read it off a prompter, but then again, I can't read. I barely graduated high school. Prize picks is fun. We're going to go over some of our entries and some of our favorite ones today. We will be getting to your start and sit questions, and I'm going to have a couple of my own to throw in to the jumble for you guys, just like I did last week. We'll get to that around in about another 12 minutes. Let's spend some time with prize picks. Mike, can we get that graphic back up?
Yep. By the way, it's easy. You just got to practice the prize picks plug in the mirror a couple times. I do it routinely each day, 5 times a day.
I'd love to tell you it's going to happen, but I'll just keep on free balling until it works out.
Here we go.
I need to put in more.
You do need to put in more. This is part 1 of our prize picks. You see mine. They're loaded up. I've got a ticket for Sunday night and Jared Goff just because I thought that was kind of funny. And then I have a ticket for the Chargers-Cowboys game because I'm going to be watching it. And then I have kind of one where I'm like, these are the ones I think I'm going to land all 5, hopefully. So that's my 3 tickets right there.
Well, feel free to talk about some of your favorite ones on the ticket.
I mean, I like Dalvin Cook going over to the 22.5. I feel pretty confident on that one. I feel like he can get that in one play, honestly, or more than half of that in one play. I like CMC over 6 receptions. I think he had 9 last week or 10 last week out of the backfield. Then we got Montgomery for the touchdown. That one's a little bit risky. I'm just kind of betting that he has back-to-back good games. Trying to keep that momentum going in Chicago. And then the Chargers defense. The run defense is the weakness, so I'm giving Zeke Elliott their 1 touchdown of the day. Hopefully it comes true. That's probably my riskiest play there. But the rest is all Chargers offense, and the Chargers are about to go off. You heard it here first. And, of course, on all of the Chiefs boys, I'm going overs and everyone. Baltimore Ravens defense is banged up. Marlon Humphrey trying to play through injury also now. Look at Joe's. Joe's got Zeke and Eckler also, just like me.
I'm going with I figured, hey, we're all gonna probably be watching that game. Why not load up on that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got both of them.
Here's the thing I like about the picking from that category, and I chickened out on both the cards that I have in. But the thing I like is that when you can get a pass catching back, it could be a receiving touchdown or a rushing touchdown when you go that route, because it doesn't say rushing; they just have to score a touchdown.
Just touchdown.
So I like that category. Scotty, anything jump off those pages there where you were like, okay, I like that bet?
No, I see that Mike is a extremely big Chargers fan, but no, he has some good choices there. Yeah, do you like the Chargers? Not sure. Over under 8 rushing yards for Jared Goff. He'll be running for his life, especially if Swift is not playing. But everything looks good here. I'm hoping you guys win the big bank.
Oh, I like it, Scotty. You say I can get all 3? I can get the big bank on all 3?
Mike, this show it just started. It just started. Get ready, Mikey. But no, you guys, I hope you win the money, my man. They all look good to me.
Here's part 2.
Part 2. Here we go. Okay, so here on my card, the first one, all the way to the left there, with that beautiful Adonis Trevor Lawrence. 22.5 completions, right? Or 22 completions. Urban Meyer, if you're not going to run the football and you're going to let your rookie quarterback sling it, like, he should be able to collect in garbage time 22 receptions. So I like that. I mean, I'm actually really hoping for that kid. They change up the game plan and they say, hey, we have James Robinson. We're going to let him carry the ball 25 times today, and Lawrence is really only going to throw 20 times. And I'd be fine losing that because I want to see the kid have success. And then Cole Beasley in the slot is another play that I love this weekend, because if you have those 2 good corners, Byron Jones and Howard out there, I like Cole Beasley to get some easy work in the slot today against the Dolphins. And the Javonte Williams one is really just wishful thinking. Like, I just need it to happen. Like, I want to see him hit a big run so I can feel really good about the major investment that I had in him, especially when broken down Melvin Gordon hits that big run. Crushed my soul last week. Go ahead.
Javonte Williams is going to have a big game this week. I think he's going to break out. He got enough work last week, too, so I think you're good there, my man. Melvin Gordon had that big run for 70 yards, but Javonte Williams, I think you're good there. And Cole Beasley, he's a guy where, like, he's on waivers in some leagues, and you stare at him and you're like, he's not pretty looking, but he puts up those numbers every single week. So that's good. I'm interested to see if you hit that pick. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know who he's going to hit with 22 times, but you're my boys. I hope you guys win the money, my man.
Yeah, he's going to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shag Hennessy.
Exactly.
Well, Jay's hoping he's going to DJ Chark. I love how Jay's like, I'm going to put Derrick Henry on my ticket, Russell Wilson, Darren Waller, Christian McCaffrey, some of the league's best at their positions, and then DJ Chark. No offense to DJ Chark, but like, Why did this trend not go with DeAndre Hopkins or something next?
Safe bets.
It does feel like one of these things is not like the other. How does that song go from my childhood? Whatever it is.
I'm trying to forget my childhood.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one, Tony.
That is what the cigar and whiskey will do for you. Remember, if you are in here, throw your start and sit questions into the chat. We will get to them in just a minute here. I also wanted to say this about whether or not you're playing Prize Picks. If you have a bad first half and it doesn't look like they're going to hit, you can go in and you can hit second half for the NFL. I went at halftime of that Thursday night game, swooped up Heineke, Daniel Jones, hit the under on Barkley because I knew he was on a pitch count, so I hit the under on rushing yards. And I cashed my ticket 5 for 5 in the second half of that game. It was great because the first half was not going my way. Like, I just could tell that I wasn't going to get to the 5 out of 5. So that's always an option there. It's what makes it fun. And if you, let's say you don't have anybody in that game tonight, Chiefs, Ravens, boom. Now all of a sudden you got something to root for, and you can pick whatever you want. Tyson Williams, I think they're only putting him at like 46.5 rushing yards. I'm over on that right there. So use the promo code Warzone on Prize Picks. Join us. Send them to us. We'll throw your selections up during the live watch parties, and we'll all cheer while we're just stealing money from Prize Picks. Because I know me and Mike are.
Yes. Yeah, I lost that again, but it's been rare. It's been rare.
Tony, I don't know if you saw this today, but this is kind of big news that Parsons is playing defensive end today instead of linebacker against the Chargers because of all the injuries and stuff going on so that might have helped you with the Austin Eckler stuff. I just told the guy that I like Jared Cook more because of this move as well. So
Mike might be able to help me with this, but I don't think Parsons is really a coverage linebacker anyway. So I didn't see. There was no coverage linebackers that I was worried about for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's good at everything, not great at anything. Like, he's not an amazing – he's just an overall athlete, and he's going to be okay off the edge. It's just he's not going to put up DeMarcus Lawrence production. He's not going to come anywhere near DeMarcus Lawrence production, and he better use his speed because if the tackles get their hands around him, he's a lot smaller than all of these tackles in the league right now. So, I mean – He's going to have to use his speed and athleticism. Maybe the Cowboys know something that we don't. This guy did pass rush in high school. He was a 5-star pass rusher when he was coming out of high school. But he's known for his run stop and his athleticism and speed in the middle of the field. So yeah. I think they'd be better off just playing the backups and using Micah Parsons on Cook or using Micah Parsons to guard Eckler out the backfield.
I just think he's all over the place. So using him as a linebacker would have been a lot better. And then you're going to put him on your tackles that just did a great job against the Washington team. Okay.
I was going to say that, Joey. Parsons not going to be as good as what Washington has on the D-line, and the Chargers handled them pretty well. So I see that Mike has no fear with his Chargers this week, and he has a right to not be. Especially, he made a great point. What is it, 50 pounds less than a defensive lineman? So, I mean, it's easier to block him.
I love it. Let's shut down the Allen Micah Parsons project today in SoFi. We're not, Mike, you don't even need to dignify that with a response. You don't need to answer this troll below us. Let's go to Joe Morley for some inactives, and then we will be getting to starts and sits because I can see some of them are already coming in the chat.
We haven't got any inactives yet. They haven't come out yet. You want to go to Jake real quick for our youngest correspondent?
Yes, this is next gen picks right here. Sit back, watch this video. It's absolutely fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hi, NFL fans. This is Jacob from the Warzone Sports Network, telling you my picks for this week. Waiter Nation, you're going to be excited because I'm taking the Waiters over the Steelers because Derek Carr is coming to score some touchdowns with passes. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm taking the 49ers over the Eagles. I have nothing else to say. I'm taking the Panthers over the Saints. $10, baby. How do you like that, Alex Robson? If you think you can pick better than me, put it in the comments. I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Hey, to let you guys know.
I got extra bottles for us, Jake. I have a lot of faith in you, my man. You drink this one, I drink this one. We're gonna party it up. Cheers.
The most impressive part about that is Jake made his own beat behind it too.
I gotta
go ahead, Scott.
If I'm gonna bring out the alcohol, Jake better bring the strippers. I'll tell you that.
Hey, he's got him on standby. All
right.
Bakersfield's finest. Okay, we have. I think we have another video, more picks to come. Love to see Jake getting in on the pick'em action there.
He does pick on the Chargers and Cowboys game, so get ready for that one.
Oh boy!
So you're telling me that our friendship is on the line. I love that.
Sir.
Let's most importantly, the shot at Alex Robson. Good morning to Alex Robson. Just right across the bow. Take that. Let's go. If we could scroll back up there, I saw some comments coming in. I wish there was a way we could pin some of these, but let's.
I'm all the way at the top one.
All right.
So this is the first start and sit of the day. Ronald Jones.
Scotty, you first. What do you think about that?
Also, to compare who you have on your team, Leonard Fournette is a thorn on my side, but Tampa Bay is going to be up big, so they're going to be doing a lot of running plays. I wish I knew who else he had. He's going to get about 15 touches, 15 carries. So if you're happy with 15 carries from Ronald Jones, that's what you're looking at. Fournette scares me. I like Fournette better than Ronald Jones.
Owen, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I'm starting Ronald Jones in my home league. Ooh. So if he goes down, I go down with you, but I'm starting him. I think because of what he did last week with that bad play, that they're actually going to feed him the ball a little bit more, and Bruce Arians going to make it up to him.
And Owen, just so you know, Joe Morley didn't win any of those leagues. But here's the good news about Ronald Jones is that they said they have confidence. Bruce Arians said he was getting his starting job back, which is great. I think we're a few weeks away from really worrying about more Giovanni Bernard. So hopefully he gets back in there and can produce, because I had hopes for the kid, even though I didn't draft him in any of the 8 leagues I'm in.
Yeah, I like the point that Scotty made that this should be a blowout. So come late third, early fourth quarter, they're not going to be doing what they were doing against Dallas last week, where they're trying to respond tit for tat with the Dallas Cowboys offense. They're going to be running the clock out, trying to get out of there healthy. So hopefully Rojo can have a bounce back game. I'm a huge Rojo fan. Come on, Rojo.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know who else you have on your team, but expect 15 carries.
Right. Thank you, Owen, for coming in. We appreciate that. If you have more questions, throw them in there. Scotty, the next one up here is, should I put Trey Sermon in my flex in case he gets a lot of carries? I have Javonte Williams, Landry, and Singletary in my flex.
Everybody knows I love Trey Sermon this year. I'm not putting him in over Javonte Williams. He's not going to get a lot of carries. He's going to be also in the mix with Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell, who we never heard of before last week. And they still have Hasty there. Trey Sermon, for the long term, I love him. Keep him on your team. But if I was going to switch him out with somebody, possibly Singletary, I'd give him a shot because he might break out. But I'm not confident replacing him with what you got in there. Wait another week. He'll start in week 3.
I like Javonte in this group because
I love Javonte.
The Broncos are playing the Jaguars again, a theme that we think could be a one-sided matchup. With that defense gets a couple early turnovers and some short fields for my guy Teddy Bridgewater, who I'm streaming in a couple leagues while I'm still waiting for Trey Lance. Kyle Shanahan, would you please stop messing with my emotions and just start this kid? And I want to put this out here right now. This is a take I have. Lance or Fields will be the starter in week 3. One of those 2 rookie quarterbacks will be making their debut when we sit down at this table a week from today. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, week 3 is definitely big for all the changes. Am I reading this wrong? Like, it's Trey Sermon in place of one of those 3, or should I put Trey Sermon in my flex just in case he gets a lot of carries? I have Javonte Williams, Landry, and Singletary in my flex. So am I reading he has 3 flexes?
No,
That's what I'm getting out of it.
So
because if it's not, Javonte Williams is the clear front runner of everybody, like not close. Javonte Williams ahead of everybody. I thought it was Trey Sermon in place of one of those 3 people. I'd keep Javonte Williams in there definitely. He's going to have a great game. He's going to get over 48 rushing yards for Tony for him to win his bet. Landry with Odell Beckham still pooping on girls. He's going to be getting a lot of throws his way. And Singletary, the Buffalo Bills, Zach Moss is active. Zach Moss is active. I like Singletary. I have Singletary in our league, but I love Trey Sermon. I'd give him a shot over Singletary if you were going to, tickle yourself.
yes, and that game is interesting too. Bills Dolphins, right? Like we're looking at a good defense from Miami. And the Bills have to bounce. Like they really have to push it, and they are a better pass than a run team. So I think we could be seeing a lot of passes. Zach Moss was able to catch the ball last year. Maybe Singletary's active there. It's just a weird backfield to be a part of, especially with Moss getting out of timeout and into the field of action. We have what does this say? Fatoni 818 out here repping the.
Is it fat Tony? I don't want to. If he's Italian, he might come to my house and have his family kill me.
You better get that right.
I'm Italian too. Right. No, I look like the mailman's son, but I'm Italian too, Tony.
Hey, it's a fat Tony from the 818. Oh. He's from the San Fernando Valley. Hey, what do you do?
I'll go with Winston. I'll go with Winston on that.
Ryan Tannehill for me.
not even going to get in on the terrible accent.
I think the Titans have to bounce back. They have to bounce back. They bounce back big this week.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going Tannehill also, Joe. I'm with you. I feel like this offense needs to have a locked-in good performance. Even if they lose the game, they need to come out and they need to go blow for blow with the Seattle Seahawks this week. There's no excuses. There's no excuses this week. You can't do it again like that with this offense.
I think Carolina's defense is better than we give them credit for, too. Like, they're not great, but they're better than we give them credit for. So I would go with Tannehill. You also picked him there for a reason. Don't chase those crazy Winston points. Scotty, did you weigh in on this, Winston or Tannehill?
I threw out Winston. Everybody's jumping on Tannehill. I think it's more going to be a Derrick Henry game for them. Jameis Winston, and again, everybody listening, I hate Jameis Winston, so I don't want to give him credit on anything, but I'm going with Jameis Winston in this. I'm expecting the Saints to win as well.
I like it. Okay, next one up here. We have Jordan. Appreciate you, Jordan. Got the what do you call this? The image, the thumbnail there of KD and Jason Tatum. Good one. I benched J-Rob for Eli Mitchell and put Claypool at my flex. This feels to me like maybe 1 week too early, but I mean, to each their own. I would say that Eli Mitchell and J-Rob both concern me a little bit with lack of passing game work. But then you got to think that who's getting the ball in Pittsburgh? We don't know. 2 tight ends that can catch, Najee Harris, and 3 wide receivers. I just don't know who the clear-cut one in Pittsburgh is yet. What are your thoughts for young Jordan here, Scotty?
I'm going to go. You put the nail on the head. The Eli Mitchell, I'm not sold on. They activated Trey Sermon. He wasn't injured. I think he got in trouble during practice. I don't know what the rumors are. Trouble in practice, trying to still get over his injuries or whatever. He's active. Trey Sermon's the best running back on that team. Eli Mitchell's not going to have a full workload. Trey Sermon's going to at least split time with Mitchell. I don't know. Again, I don't know what your other options are. J-Rob does have a tough matchup this week. So fingers are crossed for you, my man. But don't expect Mitchell to be a full workload this week. He won't be.
Yeah.
I'm going J-Rob also. Like Tony was saying, it's a week too early. I do think signs are pointing in a bad direction for J-Rob overall. Hopefully, it's a big game this week because I have him in a bunch of leagues as like my flex / RB2 plays, and I'm looking to trade him because I'm scared. Tengo miedo, as my wife would say.
Hey, if he's feeling it, I say go with what you're feeling. If you want to sit J-Rob and you want to go with the other two, go ahead and do it. Like you said, it might be a little bit too early on Eli Mitchell because Shanahan's offense is always – they're always throwing us off. Fantasy offense is always throwing us off. But we have another J-Rob question right here. J-Rob or Corey Davis?
I'm sticking with J-Rob, and this is the reason. They're going against the Patriots, and what does Bill Belichick do really well? He takes out the other team's best player. I never thought I would say Corey Davis would be the best player on a team, but Corey Davis was the best player on the Jets last week, and Bill Belichick definitely watches video, and he's going to stop Corey Davis and force the rookie Zach Wilson to look for somebody else.
Yeah, it's going to be huge Tyler Croft. Gronk Croft is what I call him over there for the Jets. I agree. When I was saying too early, I was talking about too early in benching James Robinson, not Eli Mitchell. Like Eli Mitchell coming off that, I think he's going to get the first opportunity with the hot hand. My concern for Mitchell is that he didn't get any work in the passing game, and maybe that was just in part because they were blowing out the Lions in the first half of that game. So, and it also looks from the reports I read that Hasty comes in on third down. So, Eli Mitchell, I'm starting him in the one league I got him in as my RB2, but I own James Robinson in the league. I have him because Urban Meyer against the Broncos defense, I cannot believe he's going to allow Trevor Lawrence to be throwing them. If he threw 3 interceptions against the Texans, it'll be like 6 interceptions against them. Patrick Surtain will be putting on his gold jacket at halftime if he lets him throw that much again.
Here's the only thing about Corey Davis is the Jets have they're inactive Crowder and Memes today. So Corey Davis is probably one of the only wide receivers on that team still.
Good point, but I also messed up last week with Callaway. I said you got to go with Callaway. He's the only Saints wide receiver.
Yeah.
But the Packers shut Callaway down, and I think that's what Bill Belichick's going to do with Davis. But good point, Joey. That's what you're flipping a coin on, but I'm still going to go with J-Rob.
Yeah, I'm starting Corey Davis in one league because of the injury to Jerry Jeudy, and I couldn't find anybody. The league's a little deeper. The benches are deeper. I couldn't get a trade through, and I couldn't find anybody that was going to pick up KJ Hamler and start him over Corey Davis. No, I'll leave Corey Davis in there because the guy's got talent. Corey Davis really has the ability to be a legit number one and be able to just be matchup proof. Like he's that talented for sure.
I think you three are putting wish list in the corner over here. You guys are all attacking me.
For what?
I don't like it. Oh, there we go. I moved. Now I'm on top, baby. F Corey Davis this week.
Simply Dab is after my heart right here. Chargers fan, Josh Palmer, over under 50 yards and a touchdown. Smash the over on this one. Well, that's just strictly bias, but you want to make a bet, Mike? A little $5 side bet, you and I?
What are we going?
I say 50 yards and a touchdown for my guy Josh Palmer today.
Mikey, you just got a Starbucks coffee, dude.
Let's do it. Just got a free Starbucks coffee. I don't got to keep making this whatever.
Go over on Josh Palmer. Over on.
But for everybody who's really listening, that's probably not a great bet.
Chris Kyle, what's going on? Now you're coming. Chris is coming for advice. He don't want you to help Raw Minds, but he wants some help right here. Who should I start in that flex? Swift, CEH, Damian Harris, or Tyson Williams?
I'll let Scotty start with this one.
It's going to be weird. Damian Harris.
So you're only picking one?
The Jets. Dude, I looked at it. I went, Swift if he's hurt. Hilaire's the easy pick here. No, Damian Harris against the Jets. I'm Tyson Williams. I think I watched the Ravens and they struggled versus the Raiders, and they just got Freeman activated. Swift is hurt. If Swift is healthy, it's definitely Swift, but you can't wait till Monday night. The division game, I think Damian Harris, especially with Mac Jones as the rookie quarterback, he's going to get some workload there. I'm doing the unpopular decision here.
I'm nervous about Harris. I only have him in one league, and that fumble freaks me out a little bit because Belichick has that rare ability to be like, hey, nobody knows about J.J. Taylor. There's no film on him. I'm going to start him today. Remember, I was talking to Mike about this last weekend. Do you guys remember Jonah Gray scored like 3 touchdowns on Monday night one time, and then he was
and then benched him the net 200 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also want to say, if you want to take a chance, Damian Harris, safe bet, hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I was about.
I would avoid Tyson Williams. Swift, it's Monday night. He's still dealing with that groin. I'm picking Damian Harris. But if you want to be more safe, hilarious.
I'm going
You especially can't go. Yeah, I'm going CEH. So we're completely tearing you apart here. I'm not as big a risk taker as these two gentlemen over here. I pointed the wrong way. Because Jamal Williams is probably already picked up, so you can't even sit there and be like, "Oh, I'll just get the Lions back up if Swift doesn't play."
Right.
Jamal's hurt too, so it doesn't matter either way.
If you subscribe to Wishlist's main theory, that's to get your handcuffs. You would have got Jamal Williams in the 10th round, 9th round. Yeah, you try.
I'm going to see if I can sign Anthony Lynn. He might suit up this weekend.
I also think Latavius Murray is going to have a bigger role in the offense for the Ravens this week. Williams did good, but he did good in the first half. Once they started knowing what he's about, they started shutting him down. So I think Latavius Murray is going to be the main back tonight against Kansas City.
Jordan's back, and now he's narrowed it down to Eli Mitchell or James Robinson. And I'm going to lean on James Robinson. I cannot give up on him after 1 week, and I drafted him that high. I have to put him in there.
I'll back you on that one, Tony.
I agree, and you made the good point before that Lawrence is the rookie. They're not going to put the full football in his hands. You got to give the ball to Robinson.
We're agreeing, but I'm very scared. I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid because I'm mad. I'm honestly mad. You know that scene where Will Smith's super angry? That's how I feel about what the Jaguars are doing to James Robinson's career. This year, too, is pivotal for him, man.
In week 6, we're going to forget who Elijah Mitchell is again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I hope everyone uses
that.
Free agent budget's gone.
You're going to forget who Elijah Mitchell is in 6 weeks.
I tweeted something right after they signed Trenton Canton off the thing or whatever, that everybody who wasted their fab budget on Eli Mitchell was just like freaking out and screaming into a pillow because that's what the 49ers do. It'll be hasty until Sermon is healthy and ready to go, and I think he's sort of the future of that position. The other thing is we might want to have a new segment where we do like Tony Tucker's trepidation. And there's like all the players that I feel nervous about starting, even though you should. And James Robinson will be at the top of that list. And then Damian Harris would be right behind him. Right. And I just like the 3T. The 3 T's of fantasy football. Tony Tucker's trepidation. We got another
another thing about that Damian Harris thing. I just saw it's a couple of comments down, and I've been trying to stay where we are. But Same Old Sports says Stevenson, the running back from the Patriots, is inactive. So that's going to help you.
James Harris is back on the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, CH.
What?
Doesn't change CH.
No, I didn't hear, Joe. I didn't hear that.
So
Stevenson is inactive. Just real quick to go through the inactives. I don't go through and tell you every single inactive, guys. I just go through and pick the ones that look like big names or that I think that you might be starting in fantasy. If you're in a big league, you might be starting Perryman from the Bears. He's inactive. Paris Campbell is inactive for the Colts.
Damn.
Anthony Miller is inactive for the Houston Texans, along with Deshaun Watson. So you guys already know he's not playing. Odell Beckham, you should have already known that. If you don't, now you know. Josh Jacobs has been out for a couple of days, so you guys should already know that. Will Fuller from the Miami Dolphins, you guys already know that. New England. Stevenson is on that list. Trent Brown's on that list. So there's, they're hurting on that line. New York Jets. We already mentioned Crowder and Perryman. They also have Perrine. So we might see some Michael Carter today if the Jets have Perrine inactive. Josh Adams is inactive. So there might be some time to see some young guys on that Jets team. Let's see. Saints had cornerback Lattimore is inactive, so that might help affect their defense. And that looks about it for the main inactives this morning. But we'll get back to this one. A.J. Brown or Chris Godwin. We'll try to go a little bit quicker so we can catch up on some of these.
I'll be very quick. I don't like the three-headed monster wide receivers. A.J. Brown's the main target with the Titans. I'm not scared of Julio Jones. And I'm not taking a guess on Evans, Godwin, or Antonio Brown. And they're going to kill the Falcons, so they won't be throwing the last quarter. So, A.J. Brown.
I'm thinking the same thing, Scotty. But I will say this. I think both these guys are going for 20 today. I just think A.J. Brown has the potential to add 2 touchdowns to his 20 points. So we'll see.
I would go with A.J. Brown in this. I think that Tom Brady wants to get Mike Evans involved a little bit this week. And if he can kind of try and pad his stats a little bit, obviously Brady's a winner and wants to win, and that's first and foremost. But I think he wants to keep Mike Evans involved and focused and not unhappy. And Godwin had the big week 1.
I really want to see it from Antonio Brown again this week.
Yeah, I know. Some people traded for him, and it looks real smart on their behalf.
I just think the Titans are going to have a big day, so I'm going to back that with A.J. Brown as well.
AJ.
Okay, this next one. Oh, and I don't know. Marvin Jones plays for the Washington, right?
Oh, Paris Campbell.
No. Jags.
Oh,
Marvin Jones is on the Jaguars.
I'm thinking Curtis Samuel now. I was getting confused. If you go, I like Pascal. I've been high on Pascal, so I'll take.
And
him.
Michael Pittman is hurt. Zach
So
Pascal.
you're going Pascal too?
It depends if Pittman is out. If Pittman is out, Pascal. If Pittman is in, Marvin Jones. Pay attention to Pittman's injury. He's questionable.
I'd be going Marvin Jones. I am afraid of Pascal versus the Rams defense. Pascal is a wide receiver 3 on most teams. I want Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones is going to be okay today still, even against Denver.
And you know what? Pascal's good game is what Marvin Jones does average-wise. So
so I'm going Marvin Jones. I feel safer with Marvin Jones at least.
Yeah.
I always get this
Pascal had a
confused.
good week, though, last week.
Yeah, he had a good week 1, but we have Pascal or is it Campbell? Who's in the slot? Is Pascal in the slot or is
Harris Campbell's out today?
But Campbell's out today.
I know, but I want to know from week 1 which one of them played in the slot. I always get them confused. But if Pascal's in the slot, he could have another big day.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on 1 second. But they, if Campbell's out and Pittman's out, Pascal can't carry a wide receiving core.
No, he cannot.
He'll
That's
get
what my
shut
fear
down.
is. I think they just might get shut down, which is
He'll get
terrible
shut
for
down.
Colts fans. All that hope and excitement and then injuries, and they don't even really have an offense already.
If you're a Jonathan Taylor or a Hines owner, you love it.
Yeah. There we go.
Is that how you say this one? TDs D?
Top dog. That's what it says right there in the profile pic, Joe. Come on.
Love
Top
TDs.
dog.
I was just saying TDs.
Callaway or Sermon?
Wondering what to do with Sermon. Either start Callaway or Sermon. What do you guys think?
Scotty,
A lot of people are down on Callaway because of what he did last week. Nada.
Yeah,
He didn't
I'm
do
down on
anything, and
Callaway.
yet he had Alexander covering him, but that's a question mark too, with Winston being the new, I'm going Sermon. I'm high on Sermon. I'm going to keep with that flame going, and all the haters can come at me if they don't like it. I'm not scared of Elijah Mitchell. They activated Sermon. If Sermon was activated last week, we would not know who Elijah Mitchell is. Sermon is the best running back on that team right now. Sermon's getting the ball. Go with Sermon over Callaway.
Say it, Joe. Fade
the Saints. Fade the Saints.
Yeah, it's we all got really hyped on Marquez Callaway because of a preseason game against the Jaguars. Everybody, like, it was like against their backup Jaguars, like people that aren't making it in the NFL, on a team that got their doors blown off of them by the Texans, who are going to be like a 4 or 5 win team. So, like, the Marquez Callaway thing is nice. Michael Thomas is still the number 1 wide receiver when it comes back in. I'm going with Sermon just based on talent and opportunity in that offense. So maybe he takes the reins of that job today. Like, we'll see. Eli Mitchell did his work against the Lions too.
Yeah.
Like, what do we know about that defense?
Jennifer came to get some real advice from real people that she trusts, right? So she's saying, will Aaron Rodgers redeem himself this week?
I think she's asking you, Joe.
Aaron Rodgers he's definitely I saw like after getting blown out or after losing, like his record after losing is like unbelievable. So and they're playing the Lions. They're gonna blow that team out. I think Monday night's game is gonna be horrible to watch, and the Packers are just gonna put up points.
I will say this. I'm gonna say this. Aaron Rodgers will not play in the fourth quarter again this week, but it's going to be for the opposite reason.
Killing them. Yeah, and to add on to that, he's playing in prime time. Everybody's watching him. Last week, I did see that he didn't care less about that game. He sat on the sideline. I'm like, dude, did he give up on football? But he's Monday night. He's prime time. Everybody's watching him. He hears what the media is talking about him. He's too good to just sit out again. He's going to explode. But, Jen, I know you have Jalen Hurts behind them on the roster. Play Jalen Hurts over Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh. Jalen Hurts. Where they're standing on the sideline and they're like, hey, we're losing. And Aaron Rodgers is like, nah, you're losing. You guys.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yes. But Aaron Rodgers is going to explode this week, yeah.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers he's very petty, and I don't see a world in which he's on Monday night and isn't just locked in and torching the Lions defense. Yeah. And they lost Okuda, who's their top corner as far as I know coming in.
Yes.
So
yes. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is nice, but this is a game where he's going up against the 49ers defense. And yes, it's at home and there's still the rushing upside, but like the 49ers defense can get after it a little bit and play football. I'm starting Aaron Rodgers, Jen, and he drafted him there to start him.
Start him with confidence. Yeah. Bam! Right there.
I will be putting overs in on prize picks for Aaron Rodgers on Monday morning.
We're getting a lot of Elijah Mitchell questions today.
Well, yeah, Joe. We all spent our fab budget over this waiver wire period. We want to know.
Not me, because I forgot to put it in. But
I put it in and just lost my waiver periods.
Marvin Jones or Elijah Mitchell?
I got a lot of hate last week with Jamar Chase. I think I'm going to get a lot of hate with Elijah Mitchell if he explodes. But
well, we'll be sure to cut this out when he runs.
I've been knocking Elijah Mitchell the entire time. Tony made a good point too, and I'm going. Elijah Mitchell's not going to get the full workload, and Trey Sermon's not going to get the full workload. But you're comparing him to Marvin Jones. It's whatever your gut feeling is. Elijah Mitchell's going to get half the workload. Don't expect it. Oh, I'm going to just keep repeating. He's not going to be the workhorse. He's going to split. Can he put up the same numbers as Marvin Jones? Yeah, but what I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know what your other roster looks like, what the rest of your roster looks like. Expect Elijah Mitchell to not put up last week's numbers.
Hell no.
This is razor close. This one's a lot closer. Just because Marvin Jones obviously isn't going to get the volume you're going to see Elijah Mitchell get. But I still like Marvin Jones as a little bit of a safer play. Let's watch Mitchell one more week, see if he does this again. Then next week, I think we can lock him into lineups.
Yes.
He seems like he's a good emergency option for people who are like, I had Cam Akers and JK, and now my other RB just went down also kind of situation.
How many gods does this guy have?
What's up, Chungus?
Play Marvin Jones in that.
Mitchell, Harris, Drake, or Williams. Help me, God, please, God, help me.
He's doing the Michael Scott impersonation.
Wait, so how many can you start? Can you start one or two? Let's just say first. Let's just put them in order of how you would
rank them.
Yep.
All right. Kenyon Drake, Damian Harris, Mitchell, Williams.
I'm going Harris, Drake, Mitchell, Williams.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on that one.
If it's PPR, especially, I like Drake a little bit today.
Somebody to watch out for that might vulture some touchdowns today is Peyton Barber, just to let you guys know.
In Atlanta?
Peyton Barber plays for the Raiders.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
And I'll put some input in. And, Joe might like this. I'd still stick with Drake. I had Peyton Barber the last 2 years with Washington, and he was absolutely atrocious. So
Drake. I just know how John Gruden operates a little bit. So he likes to leave people in their same role and then bring another guy in and just plug him into. So he'll plug him into Jacob's role and just be like, here, Jake, keep doing your thing.
Gotcha.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying I don't expect a big game out of Barber. I'm just saying he might be a touchdown or two.
I think some screen work for Drake, right, to avoid that pass rush of the Steelers. Like
if Carr doesn't eye hump Waller the entire game, dude, how many targets did Waller have? 47, and even on the touchdown, he was just like, Waller, where are you, Waller? Waller, throw it into Waller. Come on.
He threw that ball up in the air and he was like, Waller, go get it. And Zay Jones ran underneath it. He's like, you ever do that shit again and you're cut. You ever steal
Don't you ever do that?
I think Waller
RC
gets a nice
production.
dose of Minkah Fitzpatrick today. Anybody else think that's maybe something we could see, like a nice little fight between those two? What's going on, RC?
I don't think it's going to matter what Waller gets a full lap of because a full plate of TJ Watt and Melvin Ingram, someone familiar, coming to Derek Carr's residence here soon.
Oh, Connor or James White, fellas? Oh, you know who I'm going with? James White. No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking Connor. I like Connor.
I like James White.
Mike,
I
who
don't
do you
trust
like?
Connor.
I don't
Mike?
have an answer for this one. For one, it's Renee. I don't want to give Renee bad advice because I'm biased against James White. That's for one. And for two, I just don't want to talk about James White, honestly.
This is I'd go with Connor.
He's the expert. I'm just saying.
Connor, I think Connor gets touchdowns.
He scored today?
Okay.
Like Kyler gets all the touchdowns, whatever way he does it.
Oh God.
Who you taking?
Are Chargers fans allowed to answer this?
Herbert every time without even thinking about it. Especially
They pick Herbert over Peyton Manning.
I would probably take Herbert over Peyton Manning.
I'm actually trying to make a trade right now and trade Mahomes for her in a deal for Herbert in one of my leagues.
Today, Herbert is going to go nuts. He's going
to
to
scorch the Cowboys. He's going to scorch the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I hope so. I hate the Cowboys.
49ers or Herbert versus the Cowboys, who
Herbert.
can't. Yes.
They actually literally, and we spoke about this earlier. They have a guy that's 50 pounds underweight on the line, so Herbert's going to have an extra 7 seconds to throw the ball.
The Cowboys defense couldn't stop an empty water bottle from leaking. Like they are not. It's not good. I am all in on Justin Herbert today.
He's dropping 35 points in your team.
Those are good quarterbacks, by the way. Hold on, those are good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's loaded up.
Rodgers, CMC, Montgomery, Hopkins, Adams, Mark Andrews starting. Narrowed it down to CEH or Damian Harris for the flex.
We're split.
Harris.
We did this.
Go Harris.
We did this. Damian Harris is my wild card. I'm picking Damian Harris. If you don't feel like you have the guts, go safe with Hilaire. But I would pick Harris.
I'm going to put here's the thing. I'm going to say I was saving this for the end of the show. I picked up JJ Taylor early this week in like 4 leagues because JJ Taylor is going to get some work today. And I feel very nervous for Damian Harris and that fumble. When only the running backs coach comes out and says he supports you, it makes me really nervous that Belichick didn't say that he didn't give me Belichick gave me no reason. I'm still starting Damian Harris, but I picked up JJ Taylor in 4 leagues. This is my Juwan Johnson.
That just made him nervous, so go Hilaire. After you made that kid shit his pants or guy or woman, whatever.
He's in my fantasy league, Scotty, and I want him to be nervous. I'm coming for him. I'm gonna crush Chris Kyle when I'm playing his wife today in fantasy in that league, and I'm gonna beat her too. So I'm taking out the whole family one by one. But
Hawkinson.
You go Hawkinson. Pitts looked like crap last week.
And he's
Patrick
got
my survivor pick. That's a good survivor pick. That's a good
survivor pick. That is a good survivor pick. So are the Broncos, Browns, and of course the Bucks.
I have the Browns this week in my survivor, so we'll see.
I like
Michael Pittman is active.
Thank you for the heads up. So go, if it's not Pascal, go with Marvin Jones. Trey Sermon or Ronald Jones? Ronald Jones, yeah. Ronald Jones.
Shut up,
I think it's Ronald Jones. But if Sermon does get more involved, it's closer than it seems.
Yeah.
Why are we even answering Pepperton's questions?
We will be streaming during the Sunday night game tonight. So if you guys don't come back tonight, we haven't been doing the Sunday morning games. No.
Sunday night is the night.
I feel like this is my little brother or my nephew or somebody, because my brother has Hurts and Herbert on his team, and his tight ends are Fant and Higbee.
All right.
What's
up, nephew?
Kid, what's going on? If that's you, just give me a thumbs up. I appreciate your support.
So we're going Herbert at the quarterback, and I'm going with Noah Fant as your tight end, because with Judy out, he got a lot of looks last week, and he's going to be him and Sutton are going to be the passing Bridgewater's targets. So go Fant.
I agree. Noah Fant feels like a much better draft pick after the Judy injury, because I think I bet Cortland Sutton on my second Prize Picks ticket, which I didn't put up, but I think Cortland Sutton has a better week 2, and everybody does the Cortland Sutton's back to being the Broncos' #1 wide receiver, even though it's Jerry Jeudy when he's healthy.
Fant's got a better matchup too. They're playing. Who are they playing? They're playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He's got a better matchup too than the Colts defense is still a little stingy. And Herbert. I think he has a serious shot at being QB1 this weekend.
And also with Higbee, they were throwing to Deshaun Watson. They're throwing to Woods, to Cup, to who's the other guy? They threw Jefferson, like
down the field. Yeah, all down the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys think?
Yes, I do.
I invested some like 12th and 13th round picks, and maybe that small shot he comes back. I have him in a dynasty league also, but he ain't coming back. Oh, and he may never come back, let alone this season.
Yeah. He's not coming back this year, but I hope Washington trades 3 first-round draft picks for him. He can play for us next year.
Let's just say Washington and Deshaun Watson will probably never happen.
No,
you can't put those two stories together.
No.
The history, it won't work.
Bad PR. Joe, you're crushing my dreams.
Well, and you guys also have Taylor Heineke, so don't worry. You guys have the next Tony Romo. You're fine.
What do you need the quarterbacks for? You got the next Tony Romo.
Exactly. There it is. You act like Deshaun Watson won 4 games last year. He's really, really good, but we always talk about winning. He's not done a ton of that, and he got smoked in the playoffs. So he's really good.
He would win. He would win a lot more than 4 games with Washington.
I agree. But we can't be acting like Deshaun Watson is like Patrick Mahomes. He's not.
No, but he would be Super Bowl. He makes Washington Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, he makes any team that's decent with a decent roster contenders when he walks in the door. Yeah, they were terrible last year, but the whole team left. When he had a team, they were a playoff team as a rookie.
I couldn't name a defender on that team.
Yeah,
Watt was hurt. Go on.
They were up 24. They were up 24 on the Chiefs.
And we'll make it very clear: if he did what he did, he should never play. He should actually be in a jail cell. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, and that's why I don't think he plays at all this year. I would have never used a pick on him because I told you that before the draft, though. And this is what I'll say: if the NFL is too scared, or they're like trying to skirt the line or whatever it is, like they need to come out and make a thing and just say like, hey, this is a lot. He's out indefinitely. He's not going to play. We're going to move him aside, but they're not doing it. So it's going to go on all season and nobody's going to trade for him. He's not going to play for the Texans. So,
this is why the exempt list exists. Like put him on the list already. Don't leave it up there. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Bars in the Tuck. Good morning and happy week 2.
How's it going, guys?
Week 2. Full PPR pick. Pick 2 of them, guys. CEH, Damian Harris, or Elijah Mitchell. Thank you.
And I like that he gave me the where they're playing.
Yes.
It does help me out. It's tough to keep track of this because I forgot who Arizona played when we were talking about the James Conner thing. I still can't remember who they're playing. But in this scenario, I would start CEH for sure. And then do you feel more confident in Damian Harris than I do? And I'm going to stick.
Yeah, I'm going CEH and Dame Harris.
Tony doesn't like it. I know. Tony doesn't like
Harris for me, and same thing.
Jakey the Snakey. I like Jakey the Snakey.
I love running backs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, if I would pick up Rojo. I have Rojo on my team. I'm starting Rojo today, so yes, I would pick him up. He asked twice. Question. Oh, and then he asked once, and then he goes, question for Mike. So, Mike, now you have to answer by yourself.
Well, who are you going to drop for him? I need more details to this because maybe you got just a star-studded team and you don't pick him up. But if you got anyone that you would drop, yeah, I probably would stash Rojo, especially because when you think about it, Leonard Fournette still is a very injury-prone guy. And I never wish for injuries, but I do think ahead to that kind of stuff sometimes. And that could become something late in the season.
And good point, Mike. Like, even though Rojo is good to get running backs, I'd rather have a good handcuff protecting one of my better running backs than Rojo. Like,
yeah,
if you had
check
your Swift, you want Jamal Williams over Rojo.
Mm-hmm. Tony is
Roundtree, right?
Tony's happy right now with Damian Harris.
For Eckler, seriously, Eckler's going to get hurt today.
Oh, don't say that.
Knock on wood.
There it was. And that was the last appearance Wishlist ever made on.
Hey, before I pull that away.
Oh my God!
Wishlist.
That's how deep we run.
I don't know. There's a reason I'm trying to trade Patrick Mahomes this morning, and I don't know if he's watching, but because little stuff like that in fantasy football gets to me, right? Little superstitious stuff gets to me. And there's a guy who claims to be like a future guy or whatever on TikTok. They do all that stuff. But I've been seeing this for like the last 4 weeks where he goes, on this date, and he puts today's date, Patrick Mahomes will tear his ACL against the Baltimore Ravens on a tackle by Marlon Humphreys. And so that I've been seeing it, like I've seen it more than once.
I hate
throughout the last couple of weeks. And I have Mahomes on my team, and I'm like, I better trade this in case it really does come true.
Nothing good comes from that kind of content, because even if that does come true now, like this guy's gonna jump on there and be happy and be excited that he made this prediction that one of the NFL's best ever. And Patrick Mahomes is a clean guy, especially so far in his career. You don't want to wish that on him. And I'm a Patrick Mahomes hater. Look at my background.
Yes, and also injuries are a complete guess. Like, don't hype up something you really had no idea about.
If you're actually a time traveler, like spoil Super Bowl winners and stuff, so we can all make money. Don't spoil injuries.
Let me know when the Raiders are going to win. Yeah. Hey, Snake, pick him up. If that's an empty spot, pick up Ronald Jones.
Free move, my man.
Yeah,
Tim Patrick or Corey. Oh, do you guys know this guy? He's asking for his brother, or is he just asking for his brother just to ask?
I love
what is asking for my brother. I don't know this guy, but I'm assuming he's sitting there getting ready to watch football. His brother's next to him and says, like, "Hey, my battery's got."
I love Tim Patrick.
Bars.
I'm starting to become a Tim Patrick fan, and that's not good because I'm a Raider fan. But Tim Patrick puts it down.
Tim Patrick is a lot bigger than I thought, right? I looked at him and I was like, he's 6'4" and he's fast. Like I was looking like, why doesn't he play more? And it's because they spent higher draft picks on Sutton and Judy and they're there. But every time he's out there, he produces. I missed him in a waiver wire selection and I'm kind of regret it.
Bill Belichick is going to shut down Corey Davis today.
I agree with that.
I like it. And top dog, ask your brother for the Warzone if he can subscribe real quick.
Yeah. Also, with Zeke,
we'll do this. We'll do one more, and then we'll check in with Jake again for his final picks.
I love it.
Also with Zeke,
also with Zeke, CEH, both cuffs, Harris, Mitchell, and Hines. Do I drop Latavius Murray for a receiver? Receiver help with Renfro, Van Jefferson, or KJ Osborne? Or do I try and trade him? I have DK, T. Higgins, Ayuk, and Pat. What do you need receiver help for?
I'm so confused as to what he wants to do.
Also with
keep your team the way it is.
He has both cuffs for those guys. He has both cuffs for Zeke, and he has Harris, Mitchell, and Hines. So if he could trade Harris and Mitchell and somebody.
I would keep Latavius Murray for one more week. That seems to be what the question is at. And here's the reason why I'd keep Murray for one more week. We don't know what's going on with Tyson Williams and if it's for real. And everybody's like, oh, they signed Devonta Freeman. He's done. I don't know if you saw him in the preseason against guys that are now playing in the XFL or selling burners in the mall somewhere, but he cannot do it anymore. Like I love Devonta Freeman. He helped get me to a championship one year. It's just he's not the same guy anymore. It's not there. Latavius Murray can still run people over, and if he runs the read option, money.
That's great points. Hold on to your running backs, and if you're looking at those 3 wide receivers, I like Renfro over all of them. But I'd wait it out. I don't like Ayuk, but I wouldn't drop Ayuk for one of those guys. That'd be ridiculous. So hold on to your team, my man. You have some good depth there.
Yeah, this is a stressful roster because it's not a bad team. It's not a bad roster. It's just you have tough decisions every week with how much depth you have.
Right.
DK and Zeke are the only ones
asking. You could maybe try to trade. Everybody's hyped up on Mitchell. I trade Mitchell and maybe Ayuk to try to upgrade a wide receiver. But you're not strapped to make a trade. You have a pretty good team, but if you want to take off that mindset of what move do I make, trade Mitchell or Harris in a combo with Ayuk to upgrade the wide receiver.
Really quick, before we go to Jake's pick, I just want to say this about Elijah Mitchell. If he has a big week today in Philly, trade him. Like, get out there in front of it and say, like, oh, hey, this guy blew up. I'm looking to get, and then go after, put him in a trade for Saquon Barkley, who gets Atlanta in week 3, or put him in a trade. If Zeke struggles today for some reason against the Chargers, put Elijah Mitchell and another, like Ayuk, in a package for Zeke or Barkley or something. That's the move you want to be after.
I want all the listeners to hear me. I'm saying it all year. Trey Sermon is going to be the running back for the 49ers. He's going to end the season as a top 10 running back. I'm telling you, Trey Sermon is going to be the 49ers running back. Get rid of Mitchell. Wait till this week. If he does do well, Trey Sermon's the dude there. I'm telling you.
It's all about value in fantasy football. You trade him at the highest peak. Don't be afraid to trade. If you ain't trading, you ain't trying. That's what I always say. Don't be afraid to make the trade. Because you don't win your draft. You don't win your league on draft day. No way. You win it on the waiver wire and you win it through trades. So you got to make those moves. And guys like Mitchell, you pick up just to trade him, just so people get on that value, like you said.
Mitchell's at the highest he's going to be because everybody on these questions today was, hey, do I start Elijah Mitchell? Do I start Elijah Mitchell? Do I trade him now? Trade him while he's big. He's not going to stay that way all year.
All right, guys, everybody that's watching, send us some more starts and sits. Let's go to Jake for his final picks for the day.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hi, NFL fans. This is Jacob for the Warzone Sports Network, telling you my picks for this week. Mama said never to grow up to be a Cowboy. That's why I'm taking the Chargers over the Cowboys. Bolt up! I'm taking the Chiefs over the Ravens because Patrick Mahomes will be scoring touchdowns all over them. I'm taking the Seahawks over the Titans because they're going to put a wave over the Titans because they're the Seahawks. Dennis has to start with C. If you think you can pick better than me, put it in the comments. I'll be back next week.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
Hey, so there you go. You guys are still friends.
He even is putting jokes in there. I love it.
He wanted to keep that joke in. Like, that was his joke. He wanted to say they're going to put a wave over the Titans because they're the Seahawks and they're from the sea. I was like, all right.
I like it. I like
in there.
Speaking of trades, Scotty.
What's up?
AJ Green, $15 free agency budget for Odell Beckham Jr.
I declined it. I'll give you guys a hint though. I have Mark Andrews offered to me, so you got to get that value or higher to get Odell Beckham.
Ooh,
$30. $30.
Give me two. No, I'll trade all my money. I don't need the money. I want backups. But no, Mark Andrews right now is the value for Odell Beckham. Jay's in the lead for this trade, so I don't know why.
You should probably take that. That's a steal. Is it straight up Andrews for Beckham?
I did some and no namers with it, and I think I might be giving up $30.
I'd be taking that deal.
So
just give it a couple days.
He's trying to push Logan Thomas on me. I mean, I'm okay, but I want Mark Andrews, and he's thinking about it. So we'll see.
Here we go. Next up,
$30. AJ Green over here.
Callaway or Chenault? Who you guys taking?
AJ Green will shit on me. Oh God, I'm sorry. You'll start. I'm going to do that joke all season. I'm just giving you guys that. I'm going to bore you guys. By week 4, you guys are going to go, all right, Scott, we get it, dude. We get it. He did that. But you'll start Marquise Callaway or Chenault?
Chenault.
Oh,
Chenault. Well, how Chenault do last week? I didn't really keep an eye on him.
He didn't do.
I have a feeling Callaway's going to have a big week this week, but I'm going Chenault, the safer bet. But keep your eye on Callaway. I think he got covered by a great corner last week. But Chenault they're going to be throwing because they're going to be behind. Go with Chenault.
Yeah, and LaVisca was. I kept saying I was picking him in all of the sort of flex conversations last week, and he had like a nice floor. I think he had like 9 points or 8 points or something. It wasn't. I was thinking a lot more against the Texans, but it didn't work out that way. Can I selfishly jump in with something from my own roster and just get some advice from the table here? So I have Ramondre Stevens in a league with very short benches, right? And I try to get ahead of the curve. That's something I do. When there's short benches, I use that last spot as somebody that might break out so that I don't have to fight for them with waiver wire position. Should I put my money where my mouth is and pick up J.J. Taylor just in case? Or do I pick up Larry Roundtree just in case? Those are the two that I'm floating on between the two. Anybody, any thoughts?
You have any
Roundtree
talk on Eckler? You have Eckler?
I don't have Eckler. I don't have Harris in that league. I just like to pick up backs.
Mike made a good point. Go Roundtree because Stevenson is the better back over J.J. Taylor. You would pick up J.J. Taylor just for like this week.
Yeah, and if they lost Harris and J.J. Taylor came in and was involved, they're going to be a super committee, like going from a committee to a super committee. In Los Angeles, if we lose Eckler, based off what I saw in week 1, it's Roundtree, Tony, and I'm excited to see Roundtree get more involved as the season develops. He may even be a play in some weeks with Eckler.
And Roundtree also had an awesome preseason.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Roundtree. He was on NFL Network the other day as a background photo. I was like, this is awesome.
Yes, and I like Eckler, but he will have hamstring issues. I mean, I know we said we hate the guys who think injuries, but the Washington QBs.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson or Tom Brady. Should I start Gronk in one of my leagues?
TB.
Tom Brady, and yes, you should start Gronk.
I'm starting Gronk. I think Gronk's going to have not a crazy year, not like old school Gronk year, but I think he's going to have a lot of touchdowns this year. I feel that coming.
Dylan really wants this answered. He asked it 3 times.
Oh, Dylan, what's up? He's from the TikTok page. I recognize the name.
Mike Williams, AB, or Corey Davis?
How do you guys feel about Mike Williams versus Dallas?
I think
he's
sold on Mike Williams. What did he have? 12 targets last week?
Yeah.
He caught the ball 8 times.
Yep.
He had a touchdown. He had some big drops. I like where they're going. And all offseason, you heard that Mike Williams was the Michael Thomas of this offense and that he was going to get more. He ran more routes on the Chargers team than Keenan Allen. He ran 46 routes, I believe, last week. So that's the guy that I was looking into all week this week of trying to acquire as well. So I like Mike Williams.
Sold.
Yeah.
That's all I had to tell you on right there. That was easy.
No, it's Mike Williams. He's stealing Zeke's spoon today in SoFi, and he's just going to be force feeding himself all day long. I like Mike Williams a lot.
I like AB also, so keep an eye on AB throughout the season as it progresses. But yeah, Mike Williams this week, Dallas Cowboys matchup, can't beat it. We're gonna eat.
Jakey, have a great time watching football. We'll be watching football too, and we'll see you next week.
Jake the Snake, thanks, man.
See you tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, Mike Evans and Scotty is ugly. That's my best friend right there. He's right about Mike Evans, though.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's right about you being ugly.
Dylan, Mike Evans, I don't like the Tampa Bay's 3-headed monster, but they're high. Tony's high on Mike Evans this week.
That's a tough
Mike Williams.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong here. I'm going Mike Williams also again in this one.
I hate that we have all these good wide receivers in my league. Are you going against me today, Larry? No,
I'm gonna for Lawrence here. I did say I was big on Mike Evans, but that's just a feeling, a bias of Tom Brady getting involved. There's no bias. Mike Williams is going to be featured in this offense. Him and Keenan Allen in the pass game every week. So start Mike Williams in this matchup.
yeah, and it would piss me off if you sat Mike Williams and he goes off for 45 points. He's the only receiver on here that could go for 45 points. So.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Thielen had 2 touchdowns in week 1. Like, who are the Vikings? The Vikings play.
They have a tough matchup, I think.
I got to write
Arizona.
down. Play Arizona. Yeah. So Arizona is very confusing to me. Let's just talk real football for a second. We went through the pre-draft process, and me and Mike were like, who are these cornerbacks that they have? Remember that? They're like, they lose Patrick Peterson, and we're like looking at the roster, and then they go in with Julio and A.J. Brown, and granted, it's a lot easier to cover a guy when Chandler Jones is wearing Tannehill's jersey the whole game. Like, he just wore him out. And then you got J.J. Watt on the front. So, like, maybe the defense is better than I thought because of the pass rush, but I'm not afraid of those defensive backs over there.
I think the defense is better because Buda Baker is a very good player in the secondary, but it's more Isaiah Simmons being able to be as dynamic as Baker is. So I think they really confused the Titans last week with those guys. They switched those guys to corner, dropped them back to safety, had them in the box, had them doing all kinds of stuff, and I think it threw them off a little bit in passing game. And, of course, Chandler Jones was body slamming fools.
I also want to help my buddy out, too. I don't think Jefferson's going to be as quiet with the Vikings this week. And you guys are the 2 Chargers fans. Do you think Mike Williams could outperform Evans this week? Chargers fans?
I think so.
Do you think Mike Williams could outperform Mike Evans?
I think if you're sitting there, Mike Evans doesn't have a touchdown by half, and the Bucs are up 21-7 already, you're starting to worry a little bit that they're going to stop throwing the ball. I think the Chargers and Cowboys are going to the wire, and in a shootout too.
It is going to be a shootout. I'm pushing Thielen out. It's between Mike Evans and Mike Williams. So the 2 Mikes. But
just this week, in other matchups, go ahead and go Mike Evans. But just this week, give me Mike Williams. They were a little bit off last week too. Mike Williams had a couple drops. There was a couple where the timing wasn't right with Herbert. Like, if they get that cleaned up and he catches 10 of those 12 targets, there's a lot more people talking about Mike Williams.
This is how high I am on Mike Williams, just to let you guys know. I have Patrick Mahomes, but on my bench, I have Jalen Hurts. I've been trying to trade Jalen Hurts for Mike Williams.
Wow.
Okay, that's
because I think Mike Williams, the rest of the year, if he can stay healthy, is going to have one hell of a year. But I've been high on him all offseason, too. If you guys watch Mock Draft Monday, I used to always try to take him. But Spurs Furry, what's up, man?
You don't want to play like that, but I would be terrified of the injury.
I'm upset. I'm upset that Joe Morley has a fantasy championship belt with moves like that. That just pisses me. Like, who are you playing with where you get championship belts and you're trying to trade possibly like a top 5 quarterback in fantasy for Mike Williams?
He denied it anyways. He denied
it.
He's an Eagle fan. He's an Eagle fan. He has Mac Jones as his only quarterback on his roster. And I hit him up. I said, Jalen Hurts for Mike Williams. He denied it.
Is this Rafa? Is this Rafa?
No.
Joe?
Whoever you are, take the deal.
We call this guy Rango because he looks like the lizard from the movie Rango.
Rango, take the deal. Take the deal.
He won't do it. He's so mad because last year he says I fleeced him for Derrick Henry, so he doesn't want me to win a championship again. But it's okay. TDs is still back on here. Says, should I trade Michael Thomas or keep him? My other wide receivers are Deontay Johnson, Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae. If you could trade him, get the value.
Get rid of him. Apparently to Joe, trade him for Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know what somebody would give him.
You probably could get Mike Williams for him.
Trade Mike Thomas. Whoever has Sermon. If you're in a league and nobody is high on Sermon, dude, I can't speak. So I try to trade for Sermon in my league, and where the league Larry is in, dude, the guy won't give up Sermon, and I want him so friggin' bad, and he knows it. So see if you can trade Mike Thomas and maybe like a backup running back and get Trey Sermon on your team.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, if you can find panic owners on any of these, like, especially if some of these people's first or second round picks, if they struggle 2 weeks in a row, the Aaron Joneses, like Trey Sermon is going to get off to a slow start. Like if these players, Barkley struggles, even Gibson's been a little slow. If Najee Harris struggles again, try and put Mike Thomas together with somebody else and, pull a Derrick Henry on Rango and get yourself a fantasy championship belt like our buddy Joe Morley. And I'm just being bitter.
I like Scotty. What you just did right now was funny as heck, and it went unnoticed. She says, "I'm playing Larry this week," and you just did the dead guy scene from Chuck and Larry when you were like, "Larry."
Dude, I actually did that from you guys watching Practical Jokers.
Okay, either way, I thought either one.
Well,
dude,
I think
I got to tell my buddy Larry to come on more. Every time he comes on, we got to give him the Larry.
Yeah, in Practical Jokers, they use it to cut the line, right? To go all the way in front. Larry!
Those guys are awesome, by the way. I know there's only some people watching this, but I met them in Petco Park. They're doing like a little mini event that they just kind of do like a pop-up tent. And there was a long line of people. And I was at the back of the line. And they met and had like a short conversation with every single person in that line that day. Hours. All four of them.
They're living the dream. They're adults who do impractical jokes and make millions of dollars. Like, what do you think they had to do? Like, get to another set of impractical jokes? Like, I'm glad that they're this way. I've heard the same thing of a couple people who've done commercials and events with them, and they said that what's his name, Sal Vulcano or whatever, just like a super nice, like friendly guy, funny
person too,
yeah, just a dude. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping for. We got a couple more questions here. It's 9:30, and I say we all go get ready for some football.
Yes, sir. Because all our teams are playing in the morning, except for Scotty, because his team's already played.
We're in the afternoon. I have plenty of time to get pretty.
You get to watch the Raiders.
Get some chicken wings. The Raiders are on prime time. Well, I guess not prime time, but head of the networks are playing their game.
Brandon Cooks. Yeah, Corey, like we said, Corey Davis is getting that Belichick treatment with a rookie quarterback. Like on Prize Picks, use the promo code Warzone if you want to play along with us. But real quick, they took Zach Wilson at 1.5 interceptions over under off the board because I feel like people hammered it against Belichick. They hammered the over with a rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson.
And there seems to be one man in this world that loves Brandon Cooks more than clock management, and his name is Tyrod Taylor.
Well, he threw a couple balls like 50-50, like let him compete, and that's not really in Tyrod Taylor's nature. Like if you watched him with Buffalo, like he's not one of those guys that lets his receivers go up and get it. And ironically, he picks Brandon Cooks, who's like the shortest person at this table right here. Like that's unusual.
You guys never met me in person.
Maybe Tyrod Taylor is tired of getting beat out everywhere he goes, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take some damn risks. What are they gonna do? Bench? They're gonna bench me anyways. Might as well go crazy.
Davis Mills.
The Chargers had to put a needle in him wrong to get him out of the finger.
Shank City. We got Fant, Jamal Williams, or Beasley at the flex. PPR. Well, that's interesting. I'm going with Beasley on this one, actually.
I'm going fan too.
They're all going to put up similar numbers. What time do the Bills play? Are they the later game, or are they all? Well, for me, it's 1:00. For you guys, it's 11.
I think it's 1:00. I think it's early window, and
all of them except for Jamal. I was saying if there was a later window, you'll wait to see if Jamal Williams is going to be the starter, but.
I don't.
Boring pick. Noah Fant's going to get 7 targets at least.
How is Beasley a boring pick? He's the second best white rapper to Eminem. Like, come on. I
understand. Exactly. Would you ever pick Machine Gun Kelly over Eminem?
Never.
Machine Gun Kelly's big now, but they're going to all put up similar numbers. That's what I'm saying. You got Fant going against – Judy's hurt. Fant's going against the Jaguars, so they're going to really cover him well.
I feel like
is that scrappy back. He's like the Edelman.
If I was Cole Beasley's PR manager, I'd be like, Cole, we're gonna get some face tattoos this weekend. Like, we really gotta bring your image up to match who you are. Like, let's get some shit around here.
I picture 6 catches for 55 yards for Beasley. If you think Fan could beat that, go Fan. Beasley's going to be like 6 catches, 55, 60 yards.
Yep. And I think there's an opportunity for a touchdown, especially when you get down inside the 10-yard line on a little option route in there. Because if Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders or if Gabe Davis is playing, I'm not sure if we went over that inactive or not, but those guys are going to be seeing the top 2 tandem like cornerback situation. So Beasley is an option to get some points.
Yes, he is.
We got this next question here. Tua or Lamar Jackson? To be honest, not as clear as it looks.
I hate.
Not even. No.
Oh, it is clear.
Sorry,
it's very clear. It's very clear. Who wants this?
My neighbor has like a bag of gummy bears. He's on the balcony. He's throwing the gummy bears at my other neighbor below him, and it's it's pretty funny because the guy's like trying to dodge the gummy bears.
No,
oh man,
dude, I might throw some gummy bears at this. Lamar Jackson is your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I'll go with Lamar. I am a little bit worried for another bad week just because Tyrann Mathieu and Clark both got cleared to play, but I still think Lamar is the clear choice here.
Lamar Jackson fumbled twice and still put up close to 20 points. So.
Not enough, Scotty.
Yeah, Tua feels like it's like a situation where
he sucks.
It's okay. You want to play Tua, you want the hype, like we want Tua to be great, but this is like feels like a situation where you're trying to be cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be cute in this situation. He's playing the Bills.
I'm going to make this very clear. Lamar Jackson is arguably top 3 fantasy quarterback. Would we agree?
Yeah.
Top 5. Let's say top 5 fantasy quarterback is Lamar Jackson. Would you be pissed if somebody dropped Tua? No. Would you go, oh my God, that's crazy?
I would drop.
Or would you go, yeah. So you're talking about a guy who's top 5 fantasy quarterback to a guy where people wouldn't be shocked if you dropped Tua. So Lamar Jackson, I mean, no brainer.
If you drop Lamar Jackson non-injury, you're out of my league.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
Heineke is probably going to outperform Tua this week. Ryan said Miles Sanders or Myles Gaskin. We got to be quick. Myles Gaskin, speed round.
Oh, God, who are they playing? Dolphins, Bills?
Dolphins play the Bills. Eagles play the Niners.
I'm going with Gaskin.
Yeah, Gaskin, yes.
I'm going Gaskin also. Sleeper pick of the year. DJ Moore, Miles Sanders, Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith is the number 1 option. I think Jason Everett, the former Chargers, he's out this week. Let's go ahead and get the ball to him. There was a comment up there from TD's D2 where it was, I have Sermon, Eckler, Mixon.
We were asking what his RBs are for the Michael Thomas thing.
Okay. You are good there. Yes. And he says, have a great week 2. We'll see y'all next week. TD's D, we will be live tonight as a watch party. If you want to come back and join in and talk about fantasy with us, talk about the Sunday night game, Lamar Jackson. Hopefully we talk Rowdy Rodman. Ramen. I messed up my joke. I had it in my head. Rowdy Piper, but a Rowdy Ramen. I fucked it up. Anyways, hopefully we talked him off and he's starting Lamar Jackson. And he comes back to the watch party and Lamar Jackson runs for 180 yards tonight against the Chiefs. And we see a wildly competitive game. On Sunday Night Football. We will be there. We'll be, even if you want to just come in for a few minutes and gloat or tell us that we were wrong, we steered you wrong. If that's the fact, we're sorry about that. Give us another chance to make it up next week. Tell your friends. Join us here every Sunday morning on the Fantasy Football Wake Up, Fantasy Football Wish List on TikTok and Twitter. Go follow him there. Mike on the Mike Sports. That was Joe Morley Sports who dropped out here. And follow and subscribe to the Warzone Sports Network on all these several platforms. We got great shows coming at you Monday through Sunday, nonstop here. We appreciate you. Did I miss anything? Do we need anything else to wrap up?
I'm on Instagram. I don't have a Twitter, so you probably won't find me. But I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and I'm with these Warzone guys that make fun of me the entire show.
Fantasy Football Wish List. And I'm taking a cigar cutter to his toe for that Eckler comment right after the show. hop, skip, and a jump. There it is. I knew you had one nearby. Nobody smokes that many cigars and doesn't have a cigar cutter near. Yes, I think we're good. And we got a comment on the beard here. You're right. I did clean it up. It's a little tighter today. Oh, wait, was that to Scotty? I got it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a great beard. This is the hairiest show in fantasy football. Between Scotty's beard and my afro, can you get a hairier show than the one we got right here?
I'm going to do a layout. I'll send it to you guys in the DM. I'm going to cut my beard off and put it on your face.
Oh, good.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
I'm going to look tough for the first time in my life. If you can cover up these dimples with that afro, with these eyebrows that look menacing, but they're not, done.
Yes, for sure. Come here, Boo-Boo.
Football!
Making the show. Say hi, Harper.
Say go Chargers.
Hi.
Say go Redskins.
There it is.
Mwah.
Mike, we can't beat that. Why is nobody playing the music? That is the exit point.
I'm good at making you mad, Tony. That's what we do.
That is the exit